Welcome to Deep Thought. Work on spiraling. Now, what is spiraling? This is something I've discussed before, but this is something that I need to constantly remind people of. Spiraling is the concept of your life either going up, like you're going up a spiral staircase, or going down. All right? You know, we are either growing or we're falling. We're either getting better or we're getting worse. That's every single moment of our lives, right? Now, the superficial thing behind spiraling, and this was a paradigm that really originated in West Africa, which, for the record, despite what some people with a cultural bias might think, had very advanced cultures, right? But that's another conversation. But spiraling is simply, you start from the time of your birthday. And in that year between, to your next birthday, which direction are you going? Is everything in your life getting better? Are you living better than you were before? Is your life becoming better overall? Are you making more money, or at least more resources, right? Are your relationships better? Is your health better? Every aspect, there's no aspect of your life that should go down, right? And it has to be, what is your quality of life overall? And it's more focused on your life. Okay, when I say that, let me use the example of money. Like someone might feel like they're spiraling because, maybe they make a few thousand more than they did before. It depends. Is that few thousand that you're making, is it making your life better? Is it making your life better, or is it making it worse? That's a very important thing. It could go the other way. It could bring you more trouble, more bills, or is your life, you're not making as much, but you enjoy everything that you're doing. That's spiraling. Let's talk about relationships, because honestly, I don't talk about relationships much, but that's a deep thing. That's a spiritual thing, because when you deal with people, you actually learn stuff. You actually become a better person. You're also presented with things that might be a challenge to you, such as jealousy, insecurity, or egotism, So in your relationships, are your relationships getting better? Are you getting along better? Not just with the opposite sex, not just romantic relationships, but with the people that you encounter in your life every day. Your friends, your family. Total strangers. Is that better, or is that getting worse? All right? Every single day, without fail, you have to work on getting better. This has to be a part of your philosophy. And let's be clear. Even though many people could apply it as a spiritual philosophy, it needs to be a life philosophy. Do you want to be stuck in the same place? Like, I talked about going in a good direction, but do you want every year to be going down? Do you want a situation where, your life isn't as happy as it was the year before? Like, do you want to be in a situation where you look back at something and say, hey, everything is great then, but everything is going down now? Do you want to be in a situation where you were making enough money to bring you some happiness maybe a couple years ago, but all of a sudden you're struggling now? Because remember, it's not so much about the money, it's about the quality of your life and your happiness. Your relationships worse, or even then, even have a relationship. Every now and then I might see a video from someone or talk to somebody in the real world, and They talking about a relationship they had years ago, but now they're miserable. That means they're not spiraling up. They're spiraling in the other direction. They spiraling in the other direction. And so, it's not good for them. And I'm gonna tell you something now. A lot of people reach a peak in their life and then they start going in the other direction. And here's the bad part. Here's the bad part. People think that's normal. People think, oh yeah, that was my best year, and now I'm going down, and that's just how it is. And they'll talk about what they did that year. Like, no, that shouldn't be the case at all. That shouldn't be the case at all. Even with your body build, even with your body, Like someone I follow on Instagram, he said it best. He said, because he's a guy in his 50s and he works out hard. I talk body game, but this dude goes even harder. He's talking health and everything. And he actually showed a picture of himself when he was in his 30s. He was a big dude. He was a big dude. He's actually in physically better shape than he was when he was in his 30s. Right? But see, some other people will feel like, well, their best shape was when they were young. And they don't think, oh, wait, I can be in even better shape. I can be even healthier. Now, that's spiraling. And like I said, you got to work on it all the time. It's not so much a religious thing, just a philosophy. Regardless of your spiritual path, you can always work to get better. Always physically, because you can change. Okay, like physically, I talked about working out and everything. And what that guy had said was, they found that when a man still uses his muscles and everything, he stays as strong as he was when he was young. I can attest to that because at the gym I'm at, when I'm throwing up weight, there's a lot of older guys in there, older than me. They're in their 60s and stuff, lifting heavier weights than I do. So, you could stay with that. And then your food, you could change how you eat. There have been people who ate a bunch of bad foods as a young person, but then as they got older, they were eating healthier and everything, actually in better shape. Indeed, I know a gentleman now who he just turned 65, yet he can still do push-ups and everything because he's a raw food proponent. But he was spiraling. See, that's the important thing. You want to work on being better all the time. You want to spiral up, You don't want to go in the opposite direction. You always want to go up. So I want y'all to think on that, okay? I'll talk to you later. Peace.